Hi all. Let's do some more C++. We're going to do number 8. In number 8 we have 8 small programs. The main thing would be 2 functions. We're going to go over how to use 2 functions. So I'll take this folder and put it on C:. That's just a shortcut to the CPP folder on C:. We'll start up the DOS prompt. We'll navigate to C:. We'll go into the CPP folder, CD into the 08 folder, and the first program is 2 functions. Let's run it and I'll show you what it does. So we'll compile it. And then we'll run it. And it says you are in the main function. Now you are in function 2. Okay, so let's open this up. Number 1. Okay, so you can see here it prints you are in the main function. That's this line here. So that should be pretty simple. Then it prints you are in function 2. And that comes from here. Okay? So this part, for the most part, you should understand. We're in main. A simple C out. Do a new line. And then these 2 lines are new. Here's function 2. You can see there's a function name, and then the start of the function and the close of the function. Inside function 2, you should understand these 2 lines. A simple C out, print this to the screen, and we do a new line. Okay? You can name these anything you want within reason. There might be a few things that the compiler might complain about, but for the most part, anything you want. We aren't sending anything in yet. In the next video, we'll add some things inside here, but you can read this as function 2 is a function. And we're not sending anything back. So next video again, we'll add things here and we'll add things here. Okay, so that's just the function name. They also call it a function header, H-E-A-D-E-R, function header. It's just a function name. Okay, now these 2 lines are the important part. Inside main, all C++ programs start in main. Start in the main function. So we have to tell main that function 2 exists. And we do this by the function prototype. Okay, this is just a comment, but this part here tells main function 2 exists. And all you have to do is take this function name and copy it here. Okay, so this line just tells main, hey, we've got another function in our program. They call it a prototype. And then this is a function call. The function call turns on function 2. It runs it. It runs function 2. Okay, so we do this printout and we get this line. We do a new line, then we tell main, hey, function 2 exists, and then we call function 2, we execute function 2, it comes down here and runs function 2, prints this line out, that's this guy here, does a new line, and then the program quits. Okay, so I have a few more that we'll run through that are kind of the same thing and just kind of add a little bit more each time. So just so you can see it run again, let's execute it again. Okay, now we'll do number 2. Okay, let's move into program 2. We'll compile it. Then we'll run it. Okay, so let's open this up. And it's basically the same thing, but after function 2 executes, it just shows you that it comes back to main and prints out this line. Okay, so here you are in the main function. It prints this line, does a new line. There's the prototype. It says, hey, function 2 exists. Then it does the function call. You see it skips this, right? It does the function call, so it comes down here. That's just a comment. Function 2 runs, prints out this line. You are in function 2. Does a carriage return, does a new line, and then it comes back here, goes back to where it came from. Then it comes down here and executes this line. It runs this line and prints out, you return to the main function. Then it does another new line. You don't have to do all these new lines. I just like to put them in to space things out. It makes it easier to see what's going on. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that after function 2 runs, it comes back to where it started and continues to execute the rest of the main function. Okay, let's go into number 3. We'll compile it. Then we'll run it. And as far as the functions, it's the same thing, but these 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, or these 5 here, I just want to show you a fancy trick that they do. It's like a shorthand type of thing to do adding and subtraction. So. Okay, so the first part's the same. You're in the main function. Okay, so it prints out you are in the main function. That's where this line comes from. Does a new line. Function prototype says, hey, there's a function 2. And then the function call, it runs function 2. Function 2 is down here. This is just a comment. It prints out you are in function 2. That's this guy here. Then it prints a 30. That comes from this C out here. Okay. So this stuff here, that's same as the earlier videos. We created an integer named amount. Then we put 20 into amount. Then we just did some fancy math here. Now this, don't let this mess you up. It's no big deal. I just wanted to show it to you. It's just a shorthand way to add two numbers together. So this line here is the same as this. See, this whole thing is just inside of a comment. This starts the comment, this ends the comment. So this line is the same as this. Take amount, add 10 to it. Okay, so we got 20. This is 20 plus 10, and put 30 in here. So 30 went in here. So this is just a shorthand way to do this. Okay, it's really cryptic, you know. Just think of it as backwards. You know, they kind of flip things around. You know, this is on the opposite side now. And then this is on the opposite side. Okay? You know, by using things like that, it really makes your code kind of look cryptic until you get used to seeing it. You know, this type of thing is more understandable. Take amount, add 10 to it, and put it back in here. Then print out the amount. That's how we get the 30 here. Does a new line, then it came back to the function 2, function call, and it prints out you are back in the main function. Okay? So main thing here is just that stuff here. Okay, so let's just run through the other ones real quick. They're all kind of the same. We'll do the subtraction. We'll move into 04. We'll compile it. Then we'll run it. Check out the code here. It's all the same except this line here. This is how you would subtract. You know, take amount. So we take 20 minus 10, put the new amount in here, and then print it out. That's how we get this guy. Okay? Okay, so to run through this, you're in main. It prints out you're in the main function. You are in the main function. It does a new line. function prototype that says, hey, main, function 2 is allowed to exist. We do a function call, comes down here, runs function 2. This is just a comment. Function name, also called function header, prints out you are in function 2. You are in function 2. Then it does some math. Creates an integer named amount. Stores 20 in amount. Then it takes 20. It takes amount. Subtracts 10. Sticks a 10 in here. This line is the same as this. 20 minus 10 is 10. Puts a 10 in amount. Then it prints amount out. Prints a 10 here. Then it does a new line. Then it comes back to here. It goes back to there because that's where it came from. Then it prints out you return to the main function. Prints out this line. Then it does a new line. That's how we get this blank space here. Okay, now we'll do 5. We'll compile it, then we'll run it. Same thing, except now we're multiplying. So we're going 20 times 10 and putting the total in here. Prints out 200. So this is just a shorthand for this. Six. We'll compile it. Then we'll run it. Same thing, except we're dividing now. Shorthand is the same as this. So 20 divided by 10. Put the new amount in here. Print out amount. That's how we get the 2. So you can see these things are really cryptic. So I personally stay away from things like that. But the reason why they have those things is it may save a few ticks as a program is executing. You know. These days the processors are so fast that it's something you don't even have to worry about. But years ago, the computers were slower, so wherever they could save a few ticks, you know, the speed of the program, it made the whole program run faster. So that's why they have things like this. And the last one is modulus. We'll compile it, then we'll run it. And same thing, this is just shorthand for this. So we got 21 store it in amount. 21 modulus 10. Take 20, divide it by 10, and the remainder is stored in here. So that's a 1, right? 21 divided by 10 is 2. And then you got 1 left over. Sticks a 1 in here, prints out amount. That's how we get the 1 here. Okay, and number 8. 8 is just something I wanted to show you with the C in. So, let's see here. We'll clear the screen. We'll move into 08. Compile it. Then we'll run it. Please enter 2 numbers. And we'll go 3 space 4. Hit enter. And it says you entered 3 and 4. So that's a little different, right? And what we're doing a C in, and we're grabbing 2 numbers at the same time. Okay? So we're doing this all inside main, just to show you the fancy thing with the C in. So create 1 integer, create 2 integers. Please enter 2 numbers. That would be this here. Please enter 2 numbers. We enter 3 space 4. Of course, the user would have to know how to use the program because we aren't really explaining what we want. So, but just as an example to show you how to use this here. So we would do a C in. This one grabs the first number, and then this one grabs the second number, and then we just print it back to the screen. You entered num1 and num2 is the 4. We do a new line. That's how we get the space. Okay, and I think we'll call her a day there. See ya. Bye.